What's up, everybody? The Rad Picker. When this video comes out, it will probably be Thursday, or Friday. I steal that again from Jay Williams. Hope you're doing good, Jay, if you ever see this. But anyway, I want to talk to you about one of these losses here. These are shower heads, if you can't see. And I got these at an estate auction sometime last winter, and I paid probably on average, I think I have like 6 of them, an average of $75, and they're worth, I mean, comp $270, somewhere around there. And the problem is and I didn't list them on eBay. I will say that first of all, which is probably a big problem. Tried to sell them on Facebook Marketplace, and the thing is that a lot of people wanted them. I got offers for $60, and I even had a few friends message me and say, "I love them, would you install?" And so I just didn't do good, and I didn't push them hard. I thought they'd sell really easy. I even had a yard sale. You wouldn't believe how many people touched them, looked at them. I had different styles. These are rain heads, big units with jets on them and stuff, and the handheld shower units. But to pull the trigger on that, you got to be ready for one now. And I really didn't do a good job pushing them and selling them. So I'll take responsibility for the fact that they didn't sell real good. But again, they take up too much space, and it's something that's going to cost a lot to ship, which I've listed them now on eBay, and I believe they will sell, but I wouldn't do it again. So just something, it's kind of a loss. I like getting on here, and I certainly don't like being negative, but I know everything's about the big sale, the big deal, and I want to tell you some things maybe where I failed at or could improve on. So that being said, that's one of the things. I do not want to forget to shout out J-Ride Flips, first class treasures. Gave me some good advice on videos. Like I said, I'm going to be getting better and better. I try to get better at everything every day, even though some days it feels like I'm going backwards, but my goal every day is to be better at everything. Better human, better father, better husband, better salesman, better friend, all that stuff. But he told me, and he had a live on YouTube, and I just put in there, "Hi, how are you doing?" And he said, "I've got some advice for you, Scott." And so I waited, and I was listening and shipping boxes, and then it got to the point where he saw that I was in there and said, "Turn your phone in landscape mode." And I didn't realize when I was making my videos that I had it vertical. And when I watch it back, I watch it vertical. But when I watch everybody else's stuff, I watch it in landscape mode. I didn't realize you had those two black things. It wasn't filling up the whole screen. So great. I love simple advice. If I ever make mistakes, it's something simple and dumb like that. I have no problem admitting that. It's kind of funny. Little things like that. Tweaks. I like tweaks. I don't mind tweaking myself. But that being said, I appreciate it, J-Ride. Appreciate the advice. Appreciate everything you do, by the way. I've said it before, and I'll continue to. He's got a teacher's heart. He's willing to give his knowledge for free to help other people. And I think that's really cool, because someone's letting me go there. Thank you very much. In Tennessee, we wave for you Yankees up there. And I am one, so I can say that. I'll pick on y'all. Don't be afraid to make eye contact with somebody and smile at them. Whenever I go back to Michigan, for those of you that don't know, I live in Middle Tennessee, but I'm originally from Michigan. And it's funny, I go back and I go to hold the door for somebody and they look down. I think that's weird. I don't know what the deal is. I've been here long enough that now I wave to my neighbors when I'm passing by. I got a neighbor from Chicago, and every time I wave him, he looks down. I'm like, "What are you so afraid of, sir?" I'm not going to touch your puppy. So anyway, sorry, sidebar. So anyways, thanks J-Ride for the advice. Again, go check him out. If you're not following him, you really need to. Great content. If you want to learn about reselling, he has mentioned something about doing some financial videos, which I think he should do, because he is very seemingly very disciplined and analytical, and can break things down very simply, and I like that. I'm a simple-minded guy. I'm black and white. Just, talk to me and let me know, and I have no problem listening, unless of course I disagree. Then I will completely rebel, do the opposite, and let everybody know that you're stupid. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Had a great show today on Dibbed It Threads. If you're watching this, the raid train may have already happened, because this Thursday, April the 3rd, we have a Dibbed It raid trains all day raid train, and there's 28 of the best sellers on Dibbed It Threads, and I get to be a co-host with Resell to Ride. I'm looking forward to working with them. It'll be my first time as a co-host. They are the host, I am the co-host, so I'm excited about that. So hopefully it's already happened and we've sold a bunch and got good giveaways in my opinion, but we'll see. Other than that, had a great show today. I laughed. I did a Dibbed It Threads bags and purses show. The Rad had bags, and I realized I'm not very good at it, but we laughed. Anyone in that show, shout out to you, all of you in that. It was so funny. I was crying, like, I'm sorry, like snot bubble church crying, like, don't look at me, I'm gonna laugh. And because I had this bag, the whole story was I had this one purse, and it was vintage for sure, and it was kind of velvet and had embroidery and beads and stuff on it, and it just had that little musty basement smell. But like me, I don't know, I'm a clown, like Mama Bear says. I'm a clown, and I just, everything's a joke to me, so I was commenting on the smell, and then they just dropped the dot and Violet, and then just rolling with it, and it was really funny. It's some of the funnest times ever on these lives. That's the best part about the resale community, is the kinship and the camaraderie and the laughs. Just everybody's a smart aleck, which goes right with me, because if y'all know me, I am Captain Smart Aleck. I grew up in a neighborhood with 4 streets, and it was our road versus the other 3 roads. Of course, Hope Lake dominated. East Side Brighton. What? Yeah, take that, Hilton Estates. If you know, you know. But we would play, every basketball, hockey, soccer, football, you name it. Any game was always this competition, and you had to be pretty sharp-tongued, sharp-witted, and quite frankly, kind of tough, because it normally ended up in some sort of fight. So I enjoy people that can have a quick wit and stuff. I don't get offended easily. I don't like to offend people, but sometimes I do with my joking, because, I grew up in that era with Saturday Night Live and that sort of thing. So it's kind of about the crazier, the better. But that being said, I don't really like to. I'm going to back up here. It's easier for me to do driving around videos, even though I am going somewhere. But I just took a side road, and I'm going to turn around. But anyhow, it is fun in those live shows. But I was going to tell you this week, it's kind of funny. Yesterday I had one eBay sale, just one. So it told me I did my listings. I've been, bragging about being consistent, but I only had one, and it was a VCR, DVR, or DVD combo, which sell really well for me, always do, the right ones. Not a lot of other sales, and so it gets me kind of wondering sometimes what I need to be doing differently. You should always be asking yourself that. That's the point of this statement is, what can I do to improve? I need to go in there. Am I cross-listing? Are my pictures good? Am I using the right background? Go back and look. If it doesn't pop, sometimes I'll take a picture of something. Like right now I've got it set up, another joke on me, they call it the bathroom, because I had these leftover gray engineered flooring tiles, and they're probably 16 inches wide, and they kind of fit together, and it makes for a nice background, a clean background in my opinion, to do live shows with, a stage, and or take my pictures on eBay. because it looks really clean. But certain colors don't look good with it, or it looks dark. So I did look back at some of my eBay photos, and they look kind of dark on the thumbnail. So I think I need to go back, and as annoying as it is get my white background and make it pop. You want your pictures to be really good. And talking about the bathroom, Mama Bear over there on Dibbed It and First Class Treasures, who's in there all the time, was kind of picking on me, calling it the bathroom because it looks like it's bathroom tile. So it's kind of funny. That's the fun part about it, is it does look like a bathroom. But I told him it's clean, like scrubbing bubbles, other than the dirty vintage bag that smells like a like a cellar in Kansas in the middle of tornado season. That's good stuff. Still, I'm sorry, inside jokes are no fun on a live video. And by the way, if you notice this all the time, I got these sensory issues where I can't stand someone to touch my clavicle, like someone comes up behind you. So the seatbelt bothers me all the time. So if you see me doing this, it's very annoying in the video. I watched it back. And I also, they say when you touch yourself, it's some kind of self-soothing issue. So I probably got some weird sensory issues, but I'm good with that. I'm vulnerable. I got all sorts of problems. CTE, memory loss. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. It is what it is. If you can't own it, then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, if your sales are not doing real well, and I run into this being a newbie, which I am, go back and continue to work it like it's your job. There's no time. One thing I do know about being in different industries is you don't have time to do nothing. Time is everything. And it's funny because I even have my own family question, you know, what are you doing? Seems like you're not doing anything, but if I'm sitting there, I'm going through pictures, I'm trying to improve things, I'm trying to stay on top of things. Like, I'm working around the clock. Sometimes it's convenient to just be on your phone, but it's not always that. It's sourcing. Anytime I'm going to the post office, I mean, it's nonstop. But again, I don't feel like it's work, even though sometimes I wore out. Like I hit a wall here a day or two ago where I was just like, man, I wasn't getting much sleep, which I can operate on little sleep, even though it's not a healthy habit. But I can do that. But I get to a point where my body's like, okay, you need to get some sleep, old man. And I've been really, really kind of tired the last couple of days, and I took some naps like a little bitty baby. And but I can feel it. I can feel when it's like, okay, you wore down, maybe a little stressed out, always around shipping time, because it's a lot of work. But it's good. Make sure you get your sleep and all that. But stay on top of that. When we're talking about putting the work in, make sure you're taking time. You are doing the work. That's the first thing. But you got to take care of yourself as well. Make sure you're getting sleep. I love the late night. I was on a great sale. I told Hard Rock Resale that I was going to shout him out again. He had a late night last night, and this dude has an inventory. Shout out to him and his girlfriend. Have a great inventory and have given some amazing deals. So if you go on First Class Treasures or Dibbed It, you can source yourself. If you're a reseller, you can go on there and get deals, and then you can resell straight from there. Another shout out again to Keith from Vintage Sports Flips. This guy is selling gold essentially to resellers, giving us a chance because he has such a good inventory and obviously a good heart, because he can list his stuff and make the money himself. He's given us the opportunity to purchase these things. I mean, Shane from Soda City Flips will testify that he's bought items for $2, $3, $6 that are worth hundreds. And you heard that right, hundreds of dollars. There's an item, and I'm not going to mention it because I want it bad. And I don't have it in my budget right now, but Keith has something, and he'll probably figure out what this is. I want it, and I want it bad, because this is something I would keep for myself. He's got that kind of stuff. So check them out. I go on all the time. I got a machete yesterday, if I'm allowed to say that. from Hard Rock Resales. And this thing is homemade with a leather sheath. This is not a new thing. Unless this is some sort of reproduction, I haven't touched it with my hands yet. I would be shocked if it's a reproduction. It looks like an authentic, either Native American, maybe Mayan, had a buffalo on it, and not in an etched by a laser type of way. This looked like this was a handmade machete. So I'm so fired up to see this thing. And I told him, like, if this is a home run, I think I paid $35 for it, and that's a lot on this marketplace. I mean, most stuff goes for under $10, and I will not be surprised if this thing is worth $100, $200, maybe more. I don't know. And it may not be. It may be worth $12, but I will let you know. That will be in a video. But it's, make sure if you aren't a reseller, if you are a collector, that's what we need more of on this marketplace. And it's in its infancy, like I said before, but you can go to First Class Treasures or Dibbed It, and you can get original Star Wars from 77, 79. I sold them myself. I sold a Princess Leia the other day. Like I said, I just looked at the receipt again today. I bought it on eBay for a deal, like $12, $11, which is a deal. If she had her gun, the gun sells for like 100 or something like that, 40 or 100 bucks itself. She didn't come with a gun, but she had her cape, and I paid 11 or 12 plus shipping, so like $18. And I let it go there because no one bid. I think what I sell it for maybe $8. So I took a little loss there, but I'm offering that to build the platform as well. I mean, even though I'm a newbie, I'm not one of these big time resellers. Nobody knows me, but I do understand that getting some product out there, building a name for yourself is part of it too. And I don't mind that, helping a reseller, because like I said, I'm buying something from somebody else on a great deal and able to flip it for a profit. So I'll take the chance myself on maybe losing on an item or two myself to keep this whole cycle going so we can help each other out. I run into things all the time that I'm really good at selling it, or I just happen to have success at, maybe because I understand it and don't even know I understand, like vintage radios. I did well, and I learned along the way. Whereas like maybe purses or whatever, which I'm just kind of getting into, I'm not that good at. Or someone else, I could sell it to them, they're really good at it, they move it and flip it, and in turn I buy something from them that I'm good at. So circle of life type of thing, chicken and the egg, all that stuff. But it is really cool. So if you haven't got on there, go check it out. It's on the district.net app platform, district.net, and inside of there are all the little marketplaces. And I'll continue to push this because if you haven't heard, there's Whatnot out there, you know, live auctions. eBay's doing live auctions. Everyone's doing this live auction thing. And I think this is the wave of the future because it's like the home shopping network, except everybody has access to it because we all have phones right in the palm of our hand. But this is one that resellers started, but it's not just for resellers. We will need more collectors. We need, people to buy, because a lot of times, even though we're trading, you get all resellers, we're cheap by nature. You need to be, because it's all about profit margin. You'll hear some of these numbers and think, oh, these resellers are getting rich because they, bought something for $2 and sold it for 50. But you don't understand the work that goes into that, the amount of hours. Yeah, it would be great if you bought something, it landed in your hand, you handed them $2, and then put this hand out and $50 fell in it. That'd be great. But what it is somebody spent hours to get this item, they sell it, they spend all this time storing it, cleaning it, shipping it, and then you get it, and you got packages coming, and you've got to do something with it. You've got to store it, clean it, ship it. If it's clean, you don't have to clean it twice, but you know what I mean. You got to buy tape. Like the other day, the other morning I put a short out about packing materials. I like to order mine online. I like to support smaller mom and pop businesses, but sometimes I get behind the 8 ball and I have to go to Staples. Well, I went to Staples and it's $80. So I used all the boxes, all the bubble wrap for all those shipments. So that $80, out of, if I had $1,000 in sales for the week, there's $80 off the bottom line. So it's not all just, oh, you guys are, ripping people off. And if you feel that way, I'd like to see you go out there and buy and flip and see how long you last, because it's not for the faint of heart. When I said that meme the other day, maybe a JP put out, somebody on First Class Treasures on Facebook said that little meme, and it was the movie with Robin Williams, said, "You've not seen the things I've seen. If you had, it would scare you to death." And man, I laughed because I thought about being in Florida at the thrift store, reaching up and grabbing a CD, and I think it was Taylor Swift or Christina Aguilera, that's who it was. Some of these CDs are worth money, and I pull it out and see, and it has just got nasty stuff all over it. And this will be well documented. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. Like, I don't do other people's bodily fluids, and I wipe my own kids' butts, but I'm out on everybody else. You're on your own. And it had nasty stuff. I'm like, you deal with that stuff, or you bring something home and you realize, I showed a purse today on a live show and I thought it was in perfect condition, but because I moved it so much, I had it in my yard sale, someone picked it up, threw it down, maybe hits the asphalt, now it's got a little scratch on it. Like, well, nobody wants one that's not perfect, unless it's something worth a ton of money. So you run into those sort of things. There's a lot to it, like the storage. I mean, my family is tired of me bringing stuff around. I'm trying to reduce my slow sell-through rate inventory and try to get through, to a point where whatever I have, I'm listed, and within 90 days it's gone. That's what we call a sell-through rate. It's always based on 90 days, a 90-day return. So that's the goal, but not to be discouraging, because if you want to resell, you certainly can do it. I just don't want people out there thinking, they watch YouTube videos and you think, oh, I can just jump into this. Man, it is awesome. It really is. But it is a lot of work. And sometimes it's worrisome because, one day you're up, you got all these sales, and then all of a sudden the next day you get one sale and you're like, I can't live off, $30 net profit. I mean, we'll starve to death. So you got to make sure you are steadily cruising and you finally get to a point where you have enough income or stuff saved where you can go do it. So that's just the warning I'm giving. Not trying to scare you out of reselling, because it's awesome. And there's enough room for everybody. It's kind of funny, you think you go over to this sale and you think, oh man, I can tell this person's a reseller or this one. And I talk to people at my own yard sale, but people walk by stuff all the time. Like, I go anywhere. You can go to a gas station and buy something. You can go, there's just stuff everywhere. I was at Goodwill Sunday, and it's just jam-packed, and you can see half the people in there trying to resell, and they're going through the red tags. That was the half off day for red tags, and half that's gone already, and you see people, and then you see people watching, and it's funny because I go through and I don't even take my phone out half the time. Not that I'm an expert, but there's certain things I know now, and I'm filling my cart. I'm like, plush. I know the worst case scenario, I can break even on a live show. This shirt, that shirt, and people are watching me. I got this cart full, and then I notice people are watching me, and I'm like, and I see kind of a curious look. I'm like, what they don't know is I spend most of my day listening to YouTube, trying to learn. I'm actively trying to research, learning from other people, whether it's Jake or Kevin or Rod or Mike or Wick or any of these resellers that people know really well. I'm actively researching. I just looked, sorry, there's a wasp. It looked like it was inside the truck. You were about to get a show. I was about to crawl in the back seat screaming, but it was outside. Anyway, I'm actively researching, so when I'm in the dishes aisle at Goodwill, I reach down and I'm grabbing these little pieces of pottery, not even looking them up, and people are like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, which they really don't know. I don't. I actually am just taking that gamble because I watched Kevin's video, Kevin the Commonwealth Picker, watch his video where he had got some pottery and made a profit. I'm like, I'll take the gamble for $5.99. I'm not going to sit here and look it all up because I might miss this one or this one. Someone might grab it seeing me look this one up. So I just grab them, I take that gamble, knowing I can flip them. Worst case scenario, I can get my money back. That's not always a good business model either, but sometimes when I've got a little bit of a budget and I'm just going to go spend $40 or whatever it is, I'll take that gamble and just, I have a little bit of an eye for ornate things as well. Like I see a little pottery thing that looks like a little pineapple. I know that yellow, that it catches people's eye. So if you present it right, you'll get your money back. So it's not a huge gamble unless I break it on the way home, which I've done before. But that's my little rant today. I wanted to get on here and make this other video. I wanted to make sure I have it in landscape mode. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate your help. Like I always say, stay positive. You can be up and down. I started this morning not so good, kind of feeling a little I did take a pre-workout energy drink and I didn't work out, so I kind of got that niacin itchy feel, which I like anyways. I'm a caffeine addict. Need to get me up. I'm getting old. That's probably why I need to nap all the time. But stay positive no matter what happens. If people try to bring you down, you getting some negative voices in your head, or you're reading stuff, or you even just get a feeling that maybe I shouldn't do this, man. Stay up, stay positive, keep pushing through it. Man, we can do this. You can do it, I can do it, but there's a big part of it. It's your attitude. Things happen good for people with a positive attitude that keep doing the work. You may not see it today. You don't plant a seed and then see the results tomorrow. It may be months down the road. But if you plant it and you keep watering it and keep planting and keep watering it, you are going to reap a harvest. So what harvest are you looking for? Are you looking for one that blooms, or are you looking for the harvest where you gave up planting, you didn't water, and that seed died in the ground? I know that may be a little deep for you and a little biblical, but it is a truth that is real whether you like it or not. Seed time and harvest. So keep putting that work in. Stay positive. Be a good friend. Be a good neighbor. Be a good family member. Treat people how you want to be treated. I need that more than anything. Trust me. I'm not preaching at you. I'm preaching to the man with the 4 fingers pointed back at himself. Keep picking, stay positive, stay rad, and find that stuff. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Go to District, go to First Class Treasures, go to Dibdit. Check out the Crooked Spine. Do it, man. And WSC, I won't forget you. I got you next time, I promise you. You're number 1 on my list. I love y'all, mean it. Till next time, the Rad is out.